Good morning, everyone. I'm Ishita, and I'm here with my team.
I'm Samir.
I'm Kantisha.
And we're all first-year MBA students, and we are here to propose a solution to PNC to incorporate explainable AI coach to help their customers reach their financial well-being goals. Before we talk about Debbie and our solution, I have a quick question for the audience here. Have you dealt with debt in some form or know of someone who has dealt with debt? Give me a quick show of hand. Student loans, mortgages, credit card loans, all of us, right? We saw similar trends when we looked at the market research. We found that mid-age households, 35 to 50, have the largest percentage of debt that is coupled with the highest growth in debt for this age group. Their debt is also multi-layered, multiple forms of debt, and these years are financially pivotal for their growth. We found that consumer credit delinquency, especially the credit card delinquency, is at 7%, which is an all-time high since 2012. And finally, we saw that 2 out of 3 US credit card holders have to either avoid or delay their financial decisions because of their credit card debt and things of that nature. We didn't stop here. We also did some user research. We interviewed our classmates, people in our personal and professional networks, and found that 32% people felt credit card was the biggest component of their debt. 41% struggled with decision makings around debt management, and finally 64% people are open to using a bias tested AI coach to help them meet their financial well-being goals. All this research helped us to come to our persona. So let me introduce you to Tom. Tom is a 34-year-old UX designer. He is married and he's planning for his first kid. He is a loyal PNC customer. He makes use of virtual wallet, PNC credit cards. His common frustrations are multiple banks reaching out to him with their financial offerings and with their new AI tools. All of that leading to decision fatigue and anxiety. His goals are to pay off his remaining student loan debt, plan for his first house and his first kid. His priorities are to find a solution or services that will help him reach his goals. The persona, along with our research, helped us refine our problem statement. How can PNC offer an explainable AI coach that reduces debt and delivers high-impact financial advice with transparency for its consumer banking customers to create a more trustworthy user experience overall? Now I'm going to pass off to Samir to walk you through Debbie.
Thanks, Ishita. Yes, let's meet Debbie, your AI debt advisor. Debbie is an AI coach that will offer users like Tom to build his confidence and financial literacy through the PNC app with a goal and debt simulator that allows Tom to manually input any changes in his financial lifestyle, like a change in credit score, a rise in income, or a bonus, along with interactive coaching through an AI chatbot that allows Tom and other users to ask simple yet significant questions and receive advice or insights on his fingertips, all while building trust and transparency through a technology that might be new for many users like Tom. And so how can Tom actually use Debbie? We see that Tom would go on to his PNC app, just as he normally does, and access the Debbie application, where he would be greeted by the AI chatbot. Next, Tom would go through the application and the AI chatbot, where he would input a question into the chatbot. In this case, we saw that he engages with the chatbot by putting in a question: give me some ways to reduce debt and give me some payoff strategy. In this situation, you see that the AI will immediately provide a response with something that's digestible, something that's understandable, as well as an AI recommendation logic. As you see, he will hover over a question mark kind of icon, which will allow him to get an orange box that will show what factors or what key data points were used for the AI to provide some of the recommendation that's given. Next, Tom explores the AI simulator. So here, Tom again goes through, he has the data that was provided when he signed on to PNC, but if he wants to play around with the numbers, explore, for example, Tom expects a bonus in his job, from his job, he can place that, input that number, and as well as put in lifestyle changes. So in this case, Tom wants to save for a house, save for his child's college, raising a family. So he would tick on these options, and then immediately the AI model will provide an immediate recommendation. Again, he can hover over the orange box, which will show him what factors, what logic was used to come up with a strategy. In this case, it was the debt avalanche. Next, he will continue to use the app, other features of the app. In this case, he's going to look at scenario analysis, visual aids that'll help him kind of understand where his debt would look like in the next 4 to 5 to 7 years and see what actions he can take on to help reduce that debt. In many cases, because Tom's life is a bit crazy, he might feel overwhelmed, and he still has that option to connect to a human advisor. They'll connect him with that advisor who will then ask for Tom's privacy consent to take on the data that he inputted in the chat, and then the advisor can carry on that conversation in a seamless way. So again, the key features of Debbie include having that AI coach through the chatbot that offers answers in his fingertips in seconds, having relevant decision matrices and the human advisor on demand, having a scenario analysis with the visual aids, statistical models like the SHAP value, and AI recommendation logic, again, driven by SHAP value and model governance. Now, I mentioned SHAP value, I mentioned model governance. What does that really mean? I'm going to pass it off to Tisha to help explore and explain the model governance and SHAP and other factors that are important with the AI logic.
Thank you, Samir. And yeah, many AI models has tackled many behavioral and technical challenges, but our app governance this checking by this framework is model developing and bias testing, the user explainability, and the model monitoring and risk control. So it's just building, using, and monitoring the model. So let's start with the first one. How do we build the model that is trustworthy and unbiased? The answer is look at the features that the model uses. We can see the model's features important is how effect of the features it has on the model's outcome, high impact and low impact. And then we can see does those features has the real business meaning, or is it biased and excludes those biased features such as gender or zip code that is unfair for the model. Other than just how impactful the features has on the model, we can see how each features interact with the model's outcome. Here it's come to SHAP value that Samir mentioned. This is the SHAP chart. The left and right is the value of each features, and the colors is its effect on the model's outcome. For example, the current loan amount, if it is high, is blue, right? So that's if the current loan amount is high, it has negative impact to the model score. And we can see and interpret this model values. For example, if the user has bad credit scoring, she should probably use the credit forget debt pay down option, something like that. And then for the users, how do we make users trust in AI? Just like in the prompt that we want to make the trustworthy AI recommendation. It's just to make them understand how AI thinks. So it's come to SHAP values again. This is the SHAP value for each individually person. Everyone has different recommendation, different scoring from these different features. For example, Tom has this model score of 64. This is come from his interest savings is increased his score by 6. And this will be displayed on Debbie application as well. We also have the model performance, the AI confidence score, and the users call to advisor button to maintain them. And the last one, the model monitoring. The next slide. Yeah, every AI model is not last long forever. There might be some drift in data, there might be some changes in users' behavior. So we can detect those drift by using PSI and CSI index, where whenever the changes happen, it will trigger us to retrain the AI model, and that helps us to keep the model updated always. And we also have the audit logging and users' feedback. Keeping every input and output of the AI model, we can have human oversight to allow advisor to replace or change the recommendation for the AI. We also collect users' feedback to retrain the AI model again, and the regulatory dashboard for the auditor to access all information of this AI model. Next, I'm going to pass it to Anand to explain why PNC should take on this project.
Thank you, Tisha. Here we have some of the benefits to both the customer and PNC. As you can see, in terms of emotional support, we aim to create an empathetic AI, one that instills confidence within the user, through transparency. We also plan on optimizing debt through creating clear paydown structures. Furthermore, we have personalized coaching, instilling fairness and trust, and obviously enhancing financial literacy. To what Ishita had pointed out earlier, this will go a long way in helping the 41% of users struggling with decision-making revolving debt. In terms of the benefits to PNC, this would improve customer satisfaction and retention, increase product adoption, reduce support costs, improve brand sentiment, and aid in regulatory audit success. Moving on to how our product compares to the competitors. In terms of banks such as Bank of America's Erica, Capital One's Eno, what they focused on was basically creating a conversational tone with their product while at the same time giving basic budgeting solutions. What they lack on is the explainable AI part of things. In terms of third-party financial services solutions like Ally and SoFi, they create more of a seamless user interface while not providing goal-oriented expectations and also SHAP-like models. And finally, there are government-sponsored solutions. These focus more on enhancing access to all users, but at the same time, not providing most of the modern amenities or features that we expect from AI-driven applications like ours. So how do we really take this to market? We have designed an ADD framework, or as we like to call it, GTM success through adding. The analyze phase is all about market segmentation. Design is about solidifying the value proposition, and delivery is about branding, marketing, and pricing and sales of the product. Moving on to the commercialization rationale, we believe that transparency creates trust. This basically, it aids in customer retention, it aids in regulatory compliance activities, while at the same time reducing customer churn. The business opportunities would obviously be cross-selling opportunities, technology transfer, and data-driven customer segmentation. The timeline for this would be starting the pilot project by March 26, enhancing and monitoring till December 26, and scaling up beyond 27 with a total cost of $2 million across this journey. With that, we're basically talking about what value this generates for PNC. This is benchmarked across other applications, obviously. So we have about 98% users actually finding what they're looking for on our product, 50% reduction in IT service calls, both by employees as well as customers. And we estimate about 9 to 10 million meaningful digital interactions per month. With future developments that we plan to simulate through the data collected from our application, we'll have enhanced model accuracy, hyper-personalized scenarios, institutional learning and growth, and cross-product offerings. So with that, we implore you to join us in revolutionizing the AI space in debt-reducing banking with trust and transparency through Debbie. There's also a QR code right here in case you want to have a look at our product.
6 minutes for questions.
Great presentation. I'm intrigued with the name Debbie. One question I have on technology specifically used here. There is a reference of AI and there are reference of model. Are you suggesting that there is conversational AI using, LLMs and traditional AI like regression-based modeling for more clear understanding of how you make decision? That's the technology question.
Yeah, I'll take that question. So In terms of your second part, regression modeling statistics, Sharpe value is a lot more statistical based, so we will be using that aspect. Before AI, statistics was being used, regression was being used in these AI, so we'll be building on top of those models as well as adding that AI component. And so it'll start off as a small learning model, like a SLM, and from there we'll kind of expand, given that we're targeting users like Tom in their 30s, which is in line with one of PNC's target market. We're going to start off on that side and then slowly kind of expand the technology capabilities as we move forward through other market segments.
So I have a question about your Shack value approach, right? So the whole concept of AI explainability is all about, using simple, human understandable way to explain what's happening within that black box of the AI models, right? By introducing that concept, how do you see this would benefit instead of confusing the customers with a new concept? You know what I mean?
Okay, so Sharpe value is not analyzing in the black box, but it shows how input affect to the output. So the benefit to the customers is that they can understand how their profile affect to those score. We are not explaining how the model's doing with like the calculation or inside black box, but we explain why they get those score. And when they understand how AI thinks, they might feel more comfortable and feels like explainability and transparency. Is that answer your question?
Thanks a lot. Can you go into your assumptions a little bit more around the benefits, especially the IT service reduction? What's that referring to? Nope. Keep going down to the
last slide.
The last slide, yeah.
Are you talking about the 50% reduction?
Yeah, 50% reduction in IT service costs.
So
it seems, yeah.
IT services is basically bankers reaching out to the application for analyses. So we benchmark these against, again, Bank of America, Zerica, and how they performed in the market. And that's how we got our figures from. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. So just so you know, the head of tech at PNC is Debbie. Debbie Guild. So it is an interesting choice of names. She may love or hate it. We don't know. But I think it was a really good thought out solution. One of the questions I had is specifically around the recommendations, right? So as we think about the recommendations, I assume they're almost like pre-programmed into the model versus, there's a limited number of recommendations we would choose. I think you could run the risk of, as we think about recommendations and debt specifically, there's the whole need to do debt consolidation, right? And so what happens if we have debt that should be consolidated, but you can get a lower rate at another FI? Would Debbie recommend that? I mean, I think these would be, and that gets back even to the trust, right? Like does the client trust us if we, don't share that type of information? So what are your thoughts there?
I'll take that question. So yes, given that this is built, this is going to be through the PNC app, just to kind of have that transparency, yes, we will offer other FI solutions and offers, but we're also going to build the tool in a way that's really going to emphasize on that loyalty aspect and making sure that the customer kind of trusts PNC. Again, we want it because we targeted this specific market that, person like Tom has had multiple products with PNC, like Ishita mentioned. We kind of want to offer them other, options, but then we're going to try to find a way to keep them in-house so that they kind of trust us even more. And again, they will always have access to that financial advisor who can always kind of elaborate more on what other FIs might offer and how PNC stands out and the benefits.
Yeah, ability to connect, best offer to a PNC banker to see if we could match, right? That would be where you could get to a really winning solution, I feel like.